Good morning, Sarge.
Hey, Hafaday KOM Familia, Hafaday Guam. Thank you so much for having us again on your platform.
Paul, let's start with the incident that occurred over in Tamuning for people who
Okay, sure.
aware.
So, first and foremost, again, we at the Guam Police Department would like to offer our condolences to, the family of the loss of the 22-year-old man, that we are actually make the arrest on relative to this death investigation. So as you mentioned, ma'am, the Guam Police Department entertained a disturbance complaint that occurred on Saturday, October 9th at the King's Restaurant in Tamuning. Now, this occurred outside the restaurant establishment. Upon our officers' arrival, they discovered a 23-year-old unconscious and unresponsive man who was later transported to Guam Memorial Hospital for treatment and care. The man, unfortunately, had succumbed to his injuries and was pronounced deceased by attending physicians. Now, this case was assumed by our detectives assigned to the Criminal Investigation Division of the Guam Police Department. Through the course of the investigation, our detectives continued the work. They were able to obtain information provided by witnesses, of course, the management from King's, very cooperative, with our detectives, and they were able to ascertain the information of a vehicle that the individuals had left, that were involved in the disturbance, had left in. Now, through the course of the detectives, working the case, and with the assistance from the Air Force Office of Special Investigation and Department of Defense Police assigned to Anderson Air Force Base, the 3 men that were identified in the disturbance were located. They were transported to GPD headquarters, where they were later arrested for the following incident. The Guam Police Department's detectives arrested 31-year-old Fia Tagualia Aiki for aggravated assault, reckless conduct, guilt established by complicity, and criminal facilitation. He was subsequently booked and confined. We also arrested John Mike Muliaga, 22-year-old man. He was arrested for aggravated assault, reckless conduct, guilt established by complicity, and criminal facilitation. He was also booked and confined at the Department of Correction. Detectives also arrested Joseph Kendi Dekati, 36-year-old man. He was charged for criminal facilitation. He was booked and released. Now, I just want to stress to the community out there that although this arrests have been made, and this case report has been forwarded to the Office of the Attorney General for prosecution, we continue to work this case. This case continues to remain open. There's some factors that we need to work towards, such as the autopsy, to determine the cause and, of course, the manner of death. And as we move forward, of course, as you know, with previous death investigations, once we, our pathologists make the assessment, and of course, the autopsy is performed. Once we find the cause and manner of death, we will adjust accordingly in accordance with the Office of the Attorney General for additional prosecution and additional charges.
Right, I think that's what people were questioning when you saw the press release that came out from GPD. There was only the charges of aggravated assault, and there was nothing that indicated like murder or manslaughter or anything like that.
And it's usually with the availability of a chief medical examiner. So, we're working towards that. Again, once an autopsy is performed on the 23-year-old individual, the cause, the manner of death will be made and brought forward.
Is there any word on when the autopsy will be conducted?
I don't have information in reference to that, but once we get the autopsy report, we'll provide that to the community and, of course, to our media partners.
Mm-hmm. And I guess there's nothing else you can say as to what transpired that early morning?
Not at this time. Again, as you know, we also work towards, the rights to due process. We want to protect the integrity, first and foremost, of the case investigation. The 3 individuals are going to be, the case will be brought forth to the AG's office, and a magistrate report will be completed. And again, as these are the judiciary process that we, the Guam Police Department, we also have to maintain the integrity of the case investigation. detailed information will be provided once the magistrate reports do come out, and we work towards getting getting that true bill indictment, and then we move forward towards our ultimate goal is to, of course, bring justice to the family, and of course garner that conviction. So one step at a time. We do want to protect and maintain the integrity of this case.
Mm-hmm. How key was surveillance video in this investigation?
I'm sorry?
How key was surveillance video? Were you guys able to obtain surveillance video?
And with the nature of course, this type of investigation, every type of platforms that we can use to determine what happened, and of course and also to identify individuals responsible is key. We were able to work with witnesses. We were able to obtain outside from a different perspective, and of course working with the management from King's, working with the management with the Guam Premier outlets. It really aided our investigators in reference to this case. So those are components that are utilized as a case investigation, and of course investigatory process in bringing closure to this case. Again, I want to stress that this case still continues. So anybody who may have additional information, a witness testimony, and of course any video that they can provide, this is really going to help our case investigators, and of course it'll strengthen the case as we move forward.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of video, did you see the video of what happened outside of Anderson Air Force Base? There were some guns that were drawn. It looked like it was the actual arrest of one of the suspects, at least, and then there was another vehicle. I don't know if it was the vehicle that the suspects or additional suspects were in. Can you speak to that?
I saw small bits of it, that, but I can't connect anything to that. So, until we get a full report, but that was shared, that was brought to my attention via social media.
Mm-hmm. So you can't say whether or not, in fact, that is related.
Yeah, not at this time.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Paul.
Absolutely.
Right. And now there was a crash early this morning down in Talofofo.
Yes.
Can you provide information?
So we did. Our officers responded to an auto off-roadway, subsequently colliding with, I believe, a utility pole. I'm still getting bits and pieces. We are, parts of our preliminary investigation. I do know that the individuals that were involved were transported to Guam Memorial Hospital by Medic 6. This is a non-fatal crash. Our Highway Patrol Division was not activated for this. It is in the hands of our patrol officers, and once I'm able to ascertain more information, I'll provide more to the media.
What about that crash last week at the overpass up here? I believe it's Route 16.
That's an ongoing investigation with our traffic investigators. That is an official vehicle crash that was classed as an official vehicle crash, auto crash. Every official crash is entertained by our traffic investigators from officers assigned to the Highway Patrol Division, and every crash report involving an official vehicle is forwarded to our internal affairs for their review. And of course, any disposition that comes out from that administrative review will be brought forth for the chief's decision moving forward for any disciplinary action for all official vehicle crashes that is entertained within our traffic investigators that have been forwarded to our internal affairs for administrative review.
Mm-hmm. Can you confirm whether or not that incident involved a high-speed chase?
I do know from the preliminary reports that they were trying to effectuate a traffic stop on that black Scion relative to a traffic violation. And of course, the individual made numerous attempts to elude officers. That individual was involved in a what we call first contact collision, striking a vehicle that was motoring in northbound on Route 16. And of course, the attempts for the individual to exit the vehicle while motoring, thus caused the collision, which was reported to the media. Again, we'll get more findings from our traffic investigators, their determination, and of course, again, I want to reiterate that all official vehicle crashes are forwarded to the internal affairs for administrative review, and of course, the disposition of our chief moving forward for any disciplinary action.
All right. Any thing planned this week for Police Week?
Yes, we do have our award ceremony. Again, this will be provided virtually. We want to celebrate our officers, our hardworking men and women, both our sworn and our unsworn. So this is going to be done virtually. Our governor's Facebook page will provide the platform. This is going to be at 1 o'clock, October 14th. The family and friends who are tied with the recipients can help celebrate with them. And on October 16th, which is a Saturday, we are going to do our memorial service, in which we traditionally do in honoring our fallen officers in both our local and our federal side. This is going to be a moment in which we celebrate and we memorialize the many lives that were lost, and these fine officers who made the ultimate sacrifice. So again, this is going to be under the platform of the governor's office. That's going to be providing the platform. It's going to be done virtually. We want to stay in line with the executive order and the compliance with our COVID, mitigation process.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Paul, for coming on to the show.
Thanks, Sarge.
Absolutely. You guys take care. Thank you so much again for providing a platform for the Guam Police Department. You guys take care. Stay safe, Guam. God bless.
Stay safe.
All right, there you go, Sergeant Paul Tapao, 927. Quick break, coming back with GHRA President Mary Rhodes next, right here on the link.
We know you're tired of hearing about COVID-19. Some of you are probably wondering whether this is ever going to end. However long